And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open. Either message or email me directly. Link is on main, and we'll set it up, okay? So, Gemini, what we're looking at in this round of reads? Well, before we start, for those who are coming back and see my older videos, you might notice that there's some visual changes. I'm now wearing these blue light glasses, mainly helping during the reads because light intensity from the ring light, it can wear on me sometimes as I work with all 12 signs. And also, I put some art in the background. We're trying some different things. Hopefully it gets to the vision of what I want it to be. And as things change here, so too will things change for you. This is going to be your As Things Change or ATC read for the month of September. As Things Change is a salary that I do where we lay the fives out on the table and we examine if we dive directly into a problem, ripping the Band-Aid off, what insight can we glean out of that? We do that by laying out the fives, which are oftentimes cards of conflict within a tarot deck, characterized by each element, water, earth, fire, and air, cups, pentacles, wands, and swords respectively, and asking, if the problem's so bad, then what do we need to do to fix it? That's the basic premise of it. As a preamble to the read, Gemini, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, am not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I got 12 signs to work with. Something's in my eye. I have 12 signs to work with, and none of the time to lie to any of them. It takes way too much effort to do that, okay? Instead, we lay our cards out on the table, and good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. So follow along with me in your read today, your ATC read. And Gemini, let's see what the cards say. We're going to start over here with your Five of Cups. So the cards that we need to see, please, for Gemini in their read. What are the cards you need us to see for Geminis in their ATC read? Ooh, okay. I mean, this interesting is coming out here, but it's probably a reason. Seven of Cups. Okay. So we're being interested in a prospect. I'm just wondering why such good possibility lands under a five. By the way, when cards fly out like that and like that, that's when you take them. The Magician. Okay. All that coming underneath a five. So hold on, we gotta see if there's one more. Can we get another one? Does this require a shuffle? Excuse me, whatever's in my eye, that's really bothering me right now. There we go. Okay, so it goes to a shuffle. I wonder why it's coming out like that, Gemini. Let's get the third, and then I'll say what's coming to mind. The Moon, the card of Pisces. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. An opportunity that you took amongst many different possible outcomes. I'm not saying that you bit off more than you can chew, right? Not that phrase, but rather there were other details attached that you really didn't even know about or didn't even consider beforehand. And so what was once, a prospect of much opportunity and much grace, it turned into, oh wow, this really is not something that I like at all. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is because, and this is why I was confused at first, normally the good and well-meaning energy of the Seven of Cups, especially paired with the Magician, it is a matching energy of I manifest possibility, right? In Seven of Cups, you have all these different cups to choose from, and we're just waiting to see what could come of it. The Magician, what can be manifested out of our own hands. Sorry, it's early in the day at time of the recording. And then we have the Moon. The moon represents that which lays in the shadow or that which lays in obscurity, the things that we may not even see directly or may not even realize about ourselves. I think that whatever opportunity you took a chance on, what's leaving you saddened and distraught about it is that what once looked so good, you didn't even realize all the things that came with it. There were a lot of links attached. So therefore, what do we do with that after we found out everything and we still keep on learning more and more and more, right? So that's the first. Next to the Five of Pentacles, so Gemini, the cards you need to see, please, in this ATC read. Because I get your why, now I'm more interested in the how. Right. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. The Eight of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Page of Swords. And all that glitters is not gold. Why are we so saddened by something we're experiencing in this present moment? We chose this in lieu of walking away from something else, and we thought it would just be a lot better all the way. And it turns out it's not as much better. It's potentially even worse, right? That Five of Pentacles, we're feeling like we're getting locked out of opportunity, in part because the Eight of Cups, we left something behind before just to get here. And now, why did I leave it behind when it turned out to be this way? So the observance, when you took one step back and realized not only whatever past opportunity that you walked away from, it feels like we're repeating the pattern, but in feeling this familiar notion again, you're also questioning, well, why did I even come here? I'm seeing this as more career oriented, but it could be something else. But I am looking at Gemini who's in a state of reflection, asking, this was supposed to be so much better than it is, and now it's worse than what I thought it could have been. And I think this is the time where you're doing some deep reflection of saying, hey, if this is what is necessary, then how did we get here? Again, how did we get here? There's a bigger question I think that's going through your mind right now. Okay, that makes sense. To the Five of Wands. So the cards we need to see, please. Gemini in this ATC read. What are the Five of Wands? It's different doing reads in the morning. They even know how many car horns. Seems like the entire neighborhood's waking up. What about this Five of Wands? And the dog's like, great. To your Five of Wands, trying to engage with conflict. I mean, sometimes it plays out like that. The Ace of Pentacles. But remember, this is underneath the space of conflict engagement, so you'll understand why I'm reacting this way. Ace of Swords, yep. And the Two of Wands. So, just to put it very simply, Gemini, you're feeling right now why this is just getting worse and worse, whatever the situation this is. I walked away from something just to get here, and now that I got here, I'm realizing this didn't get any better. You're looking for something new again. You are. That Five of Wands, when we come upon opportunity and truth, we apply intentionality. Those are those three cards pretty much put together. And then you have that underneath the space of conflict, but that also tells me in your situation is that we're going to try putting ourselves out there again, because why would I stay here if I'm just repeating? It feels like I'm repeating past mistakes. I gain nothing from being here. This is absolutely untenable. Okay. Next to the Five of Swords. Okay. Your home element of air. Show those cards we need to see, please. Gemini in this read. Okay. First, the Nine of Pentacles, but we're willing to invest ourselves into. The King of Wands. Can we do it right this time? Okay, now we're asking different questions. And Knight of Swords. I like this. I like this for you. Underneath it all, Eight of Pentacles. Mastery. Mastery and prowess in your skills. So yes, this is more career oriented, even though it's not directly a career read. This is what's changing for you. That's why we call it ATC Gemini. This time, so yeah, what we thought was a good opportunity or potentially a dream job really turned out to be, we thought it was gold. It turned out to be a rock, right? It did not equate to what we thought it could have been. We're realizing I may have approached this from the wrong angle, right? I was coming to this job because I feel like I was running away from another job. I came to this project because I thought that it had a lot more to offer than it's proving itself in real time to actually do. And now that I'm coming to the same stage again of having to move on, find new, etc., I want to make a plan, right? I don't want to feel like I'm running away. I want to feel like I'm thoroughly invested. What does it mean to take the reins on that project? What does it mean to take the reins of that control and say, I am here with this purpose and with this reason? I'm not trying to run away from something. I'm not trying to leave a tough job behind. I am saying I am here now intentionally and with my skill set. What are we forced to do next? What are we forced to do next? Right? So it's good that you're asking these questions. I like this for you because that comes rather than from a state of, okay, I gotta hop to the next situation. You're now coming from a state of, no, when I come up with a plan, it actually could go a lot better because me going into this was just running away from something else. And fine, if that was your situation, Gemini, ultimately we have to ask ourselves, why are we here? Right? Because if we don't have a plan, we're going to end up kind of doing the same situation again. If it, hits us back in the face in a few months, that's just where it's at. But for the mastery of what was going on, you got a lot more skills in your skill set than you realize. So how do we adapt? Even more so, how do we get it right? Approach with a plan. The plan will play out. Okay. Next, define one card. Yeah, one card underneath each 5 set. So those cards we need to see, please. We're Gemini in this ATT read. I really notice all the background noise when you do the read in the morning. It feels kind of fresh. Okay. Underneath your 5 of Cups, Nine of Swords, right? And I'm seeing that more as a past tense, Gemini, of, yeah, the only thing that's going to make this change is if I make the change, i.e., cut my losses, get up and move. But it's also the contemplation of where we were, right? The reason why we are saddened by this possibility is because we're banking on it as we left something else. And that's very clear throughout the read. However, this time when you get up and go, whatever that means for you, do it with a full-blown plan. I think you might even surprise yourself how that plays out. Next, underneath the 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. Accepting this is how it is. I don't know what you were leaving behind, but again, I understand. It really wasn't fulfilling you. Whatever you left behind in the past was not fulfilling you, and that's why we did this in the first place. Now, how do we do this because we want to do it, right? How do we do this because it is something that we feel inspired and driven to move towards, right? When we start shifting that perspective, you'd be surprised where we end up going. Underneath the 5 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So, again, when we make the best of our situation, because again, we're trying to engage a conflict underneath that fire, we're asking different questions, right? At first it's like, okay, I gotta leave. What else can I get? And I can choose this. Rather, what do I actually want? And when we move forward in that space, in that energy, it shifts what could be possible for us. We just had to go there with a plan of action. What do I want? Last, the 5 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, the willingness to try. hey, I like this because this isn't abandonment, this is intentionality. You see how the shift is already happening, right? Make that plan. You'd be surprised what you get out of it. Underneath it all, Page of Swords. And we're learning. We're learning more and more how to do it, what it would take, what we actually want, instead of just hopping at opportunity. What could that actually mean for me when I make a plan? Okay? Last, define the major arcana strewn across the table in this read as we move towards resolution for Gemini. As things change, what do you need us to see moving forward for Gemini? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, in this read. Because this wasn't a career read intentionally, but hey, I feel that there's a lot of Geminis out there that might be hearing this. Six of Pentacles, the everyday investment, what does that count towards? Next, to the moon, the sun, right? We took a chance on the unknown. And the hope was, yeah, it couldn't be any worse than where I was coming from. The grass ain't always greener. It's greener where you water it. The grass is greener where you water it. I like that. But let me change that up a bit. I love when the title comes to me in the middle of the read. Boom. Things get better not simply by chance, but also by purpose. And when you move on to your next project or whatever you're doing in terms of how you're moving, Gemini, know that you're coming from a place of skill, not a place of lack. I think that was it in terms of the majors. So in resolution, 10 of Cups. Things are harmonizing right now. Whatever is going on, understand people, places, experience. It is happening with a purpose. It may not feel like it because it feels like we're getting pushed out again. Why are we doing this cycle? Maybe it could lead to something better than you originally imagined. 9 of Wands. Freedom. What do we do with the time that we have? Do not squander it. Underneath it all, the Page of Wands. Little optimism leads a long way. Ooh, this was actually pretty quick, but very to the point. What are we looking at in your read today, Gemini? I am looking at a Gemini who, long story short, they came to their current employee job or whatever financial opportunity, hoping that it was better than another situation. Turns out it wasn't all roses. In fact, it's turned out to be a lot of weeds. And we had to come to the conclusion that if we are to put ourselves out there again, whether that be a job market or a different opportunity headed our way, it has to be with a plan. We can't just up and leave because, I don't like it here, et cetera, et cetera. And that's not saying you should stay, but rather, okay, if I am to leave, what is the game plan? I need to be more intentional and more forthright about what I want to do. And once I have that plan in motion, it's going to keep on building on itself, right? We have to approach with intentionality, not coincidence. That's all I got in your read today, Gemini. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, it looks very much possible for you. I think when you're ready to just, bring it all together, take a deep breath, let bygones be bygones, whatever happened, and then really hammer down what that game plan is for you. You'll be surprised about what you create. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.